Voters increasingly seeing the migrant crisis as the most urgent issue of this election cycle. Brand new Gallup poll shows it as the most important problem facing our country. For the first time since 2019, 55% view immigration as a critical threat. Let's bring in former Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty, who also ran for president back in 2012. Always good to see you, sir. The migrant surge, it didn't start overnight. I mean, we watched this explode for years, particularly under this administration. You and I have talked about it at length. What does it tell you that it now tops the list of voter concerns 8 months before November?
Well, it has been going on not just for years, but for decades. And I think what it tells us is a majority of Americans don't like chaos. They don't like lawlessness, and they don't like the sense that America is inept when it comes to things like enforcing its borders and having an orderly legal process when it comes to immigration. And they're just fed up. And I think the Democrats dramatically underestimated the potency of this issue, and they're going to pay a price for it, as they already are in the polls.
How worried do you think they are by this switch, that it now tops the list?
Well, I think they're quite worried, as evidenced by the attempt to get a solution through Congress, which at least got through the Senate. It was rebuffed by the House, I think, for various reasons, political reasons. But also, they have dilly-dallied on this issue for a long time. And I think they also have a problem because the extreme left of their party will not let them get tougher on illegal immigration. And so they're in a bit of a bind as to how far they can really go in effectively addressing this issue.
Yeah, and when you bring up that dilly-dally, you take me to my next question. I mean, he's had, when I say he, I mean, obviously President Biden has had more than 3 years to implement some sort of change or tough implementations at the border. Does he have enough time left to flip the script here for voters?
Well, I think he can do it symbolically, but when you have now, somewhere between 1 and 3 million illegal immigrants coming into the country every year, and Americans seeing with their own eyes the chaos at the border, and also really a mockery being made of our asylum system, they kind of get it, that this is not working, that it's late, and President Biden was late to act. And even if he announces something from an executive action standpoint between now and the election, it's going to look pretty political and pretty late.
Yeah, and obviously President Trump has blamed Biden for what he calls an invasion at the border. And Governor, you also highlighted the issue of illegal immigration in your own political runs. I went back and watched one of your ads just last night where you were talking about free medical benefits going to thousands of ineligible people and migrants. And look at where we are today. Same story playing out in cities across the country.
Yes, and actually getting worse and accelerating. And look, we're a nation of laws, and when a bulk of the country can see large numbers of people violating our laws, it corrodes confidence in the system, it corrodes confidence in our institution, it corrodes confidence in our trust in each other, and it's an issue that clearly needs to be fixed. And I ran pretty hard on getting much tougher on illegal immigration 20 years ago, and not much has changed. In fact, it's gotten worse.
Yeah, and the story continues today. We'll see what voters decide come November. Governor Pawlenty, always good to see you. Thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.